Cowboys fans usually don't like each other, and it appears Giants players don't like Cowboys players. Or at least, to be specific, Giants running back Brandon Jacobs seems not to like nor respect Cowboys quarterback Tony Romo very much, but don't take my words for it.
I think if you were to keep Tony Romo in the pocket, he's not that effective. You know, but if you let him run around and have the linebackers and everybody thinking, is he going to run, is he going to pass, then I think he's effective because he is athletic and he can run. But if you keep him in the pocket, I don't think he can catch you from the pocket. I don't think he's that great of a passer.
And here now, statistical evidence to prove that Brandon Jacobs doesn't know what he's talking about. But as we look at the numbers, Romo was in fact very good inside the pocket last season. His passer rating, 93.9, fourth highest in the NFC, seventh best in the league. Stick to running, Brandon. We got stats here. That would be a good time to remind everyone that the Cowboys open up their brand new Palace Week 2 against, you got it, Brandon Jacobs and the New York Giants.
What do you guys think about this? Brandon Jacobs calling Tony Romo out like this.
I'm going to let Warren take the first shot at this one here.
Holy, there's unwritten rules in the NFL, and this is definitely one you don't break. Talking about an opposing quarterback that you will face twice a year, maybe 3 times, if the playoff situation breaks out that way, leave the quarterback alone. Let him go play golf. Let him do what he's doing, and you concentrate on your offense, your team, what you have to get.
Yeah, September 20th and December 6th. Those are the dates being circled right now by Tony Romo.
It sounds like Brandon Jacobs has been in the defensive meetings right there. You know, look, he's entitled to his opinion, and, you know, Tony Romo has some things to do to prove people wrong. But Tony Romo is not a bum quarterback. You look at his overall passer rating, career-wise, is up around 94%. His completion percentage is up close to 64%. And this isn't a guy throwing the ball 15 times a game. The last 2 years, he's thrown the ball on average 33 times a game. Now, yes, a lot of it calls for him to move around the pocket. A lot of it calls for him to do certain things like that. But he's a pretty good player. He's got some pretty good receivers around him. Well, he lost one of those pretty good receivers. But Tony Romo is not some scrub quarterback who's just going to come out there and stink it up. Otherwise, I don't think the Cowboys would have made their team so Romo-friendly this offseason.
And last time I checked, Brandon Jacobs had a little help back there with some earth, wind, and a little fire. So he wasn't by himself carrying the load.
A little bit of that.
Brandon Jacobs speaking on 1050 ESPN Radio in New York, and maybe he didn't look at the numbers before making the statement, but last season, the Cowboys quarterback much more successful in the pocket, throwing 23 touchdown passes and over 3,000 yards. Much of his damage coming from outside the pocket when he's running around. To get more on this topic, I'm joined now by NFL Live's Tim Hasselbeck. Well, you heard Brandon Jacobs' opinion. Romo is not too great in the pocket. What's your take?
Well, I'm surprised Brandon Jacobs would say something like this, especially this time of year, and quite frankly, he's not accurate. Really, when you watch Tony Romo play, there's no doubt that most of the exciting plays, the fun plays to watch come when he breaks the pocket, he gets outside, and he's creating, and that maybe is one of his strengths when you compare him to other NFL quarterbacks. But when you see Tony Romo throw on rhythm, he has a quick release, he does as good a job as anybody in the National Football League with that.
Fucking idiot! 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 Fucking idiot!